This is our 6.5 day 1 notes. We're going to start learning about point slope form of a line. So we have a new type of form for lines, and it's called point slope because we need a point and a slope in order to have it in point slope form. So we already know that M is our slope. So notice where M is. It's right in front of the parentheses. And then the point is going to be represented with x1, y1. So here's x1 in green, in purple, and here's y1. So those two values come from a point. So let me show you an example of something that would be in point slope form. It might be like this: y minus 5 equals 1/3 parentheses x minus 2. So notice this y stays y and this x stays x. It's the numbers after that that are going to come from the point. Okay, so we'll practice that in just a minute. We also still want to remember slope-intercept. This is a really important one, and that's y equals mx plus b. So the first 3 examples, we're going to practice graphing, but note all of these are written in slope-intercept form, which is y equals mx plus b. So the y is alone. So we can identify slope and y-intercept. We know that the slope is the value in front of the x. So for number 1, our slope is -1, and our y-intercept is +5. When we graph, I recommend that you graph the y-intercept first, which is where our line crosses the y-axis. So I just have to go up 5 from the origin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we use our slope, which is rise over run. -1 can be written over 1. So we're going to go down 1 to the right 1. So down 1 over 1, down 1 over 1, down 1 over 1. Do that a couple times so that you get a few points, and then you can draw your line. So number 2, the slope is always the number with the x. So the slope is 6 over 5. So that's rise 6 and run 5. The y-intercept is -8. And I recommend that you graph the y-intercept first. So that's where it crosses the y-axis. So go down -8. There's our point. And now from that point, we're going to do rise over run. So we go up 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that was up 6 over 5. And then we want to do that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Takes us right on the edge. So there's rise 6, run 5. And then you can connect the points, put your arrows on the ends, and there's your line. And the last one. So our slope is with the x. So our slope is -1 over 2. So our rise is actually down 1, and our run is over 2. The y-intercept, well, it's like a +0. So our y-intercept is 0. It's not none, it's going to be 0. So that means on our y-axis, we have to make our y-intercept right at 0. Then we're going to do rise over run. So we go down 1 over 2, down 1 over 2, down 1 over 2. Once I have a couple points, then I can connect them, draw my arrows, and there's your line. Moving on to the next section. All of these equations are written in point slope form. This is our new one. So in point slope form, the slope is always in front of the parentheses. So our slope is 2/3 for number 1. Now, the point can get a little tricky. The number that's with the x, this looks like a -4. We want to take the opposite, which would be a +4. Then the number with the y looks like a -1. We want to take the opposite, and it's a +1. Okay? This is pretty easy to remember as far as the fact that the x goes first and the y goes second. So the opposite of the number with the x goes first, opposite of the number with the y goes second. Now, my recommendation is to plot the point first. So this is consistent. You are always doing rise over run last. So plot your point. This is going to mean we go to the right 4 and up 1 from the origin. So there's our point. Now we do rise over run, so we rise 2 over 3. Rise 2 over 3. Once you have a couple points, you can connect them, and there's your line. Example number 2. Your slope is always in front of the parentheses. So we're actually going to rise by going down 1 and run 4, but we do that last. For your point, the number with the x looks like a +2, so we do the opposite, and it's a -2. The number with the y is a -9, so we take the opposite of that, and it's a +9. Make sure you plot the point first. Always do slope last. So from the origin, I need to go to the left 2 and up 9. So left 2, up 9. There's my blue dot. Now we do rise over run from that point. So go down 1 over 4, down 1 over 4, down 1 over 4. Once you have a couple points, you can connect the dots and draw your arrows. Number 3, the slope is always in front of the parentheses. So the slope is 1 over 2. Which means we're going to rise 1 and run 2, but we do that last. For the point, the number with the x looks like a -3, so we do the opposite of that, and it's going to be +3. The number with the y is a +6, so the opposite of that is a -6. Plot the point first. We're going to go to the right 3 and down 6. So right 3 and down 6. From this point, we do rise over run. So we go up 1 over 2, up 1 over 2, up 1 over 2. Once you have enough points, you can connect the dots and draw your arrows.